that kind of breaks down all of the steps we will be going over today, as well as a link to this recording. It goes to a YouTube channel that I manage that has all of the sessions I teach posted there. The process is fairly simple. It's going to take us no more than 20 minutes to get through. I think the big thing I want to emphasize is workflow through the whole process. If you calendar this out and get it done, shouldn't take you more than a few hours a week of scheduled time, whether you've got 2 listings or 20 listings in the system. The reason why we are having this migration from what is called V1 to VNew, I'm going to give you a 30,000 foot view, 30-second summation. There is a call. There's one happening tomorrow, the TMAP for Agents call. It is where you can find out everything that's going on in the product studio for everything that Coldwell Banker develops with agents in regards to tools and applications. One of the things, obviously, was Listing Concierge a few years ago. As Listing Concierge has grown, the original developers of that platform weren't necessarily able to keep up with the changes and accommodate everything that agents as well as the company wanted for Listing Concierge in the future on their existing platform. As a result, Coldwell Banker has developed their own version of that Listing Concierge platform in-house. That is what the VNew rollout is going to be. It will start with phase 1 and go through for about a year, bringing in new materials and upgrades to Listing Concierge without making any large fundamental changes, because we've built the platform very similar to the one that originally was. Long story short, as a result of that changeover, the assets in the current Listing Concierge platform will not transfer to the new one. So you will need to save those assets out of that platform. And in our example, we're going to put them on your desktop in a nicely organized file and then upload all of those assets to a cloud storage partner. In our case is going to be OneDrive, which is something provided by Microsoft as a part of the Office 365 bundle in your CB desk. The process works the same, almost one-to-one, regardless you're on Mac or PC, and it is generally the same for any cloud storage provider. So you don't have to use OneDrive. You could use Google Drive, iCloud, whatever the case may be. But I am going to go through this specific example because it's what is already included in the bundle we use. Now, before I jump in, I have muted everybody in the session. Please remain muted throughout the entirety of the class. I will check the chat for questions at the end, so please feel free to type anything you are worried about forgetting in regards to questions into the chat. I will answer all of those at the end. And I will also open up the floor for any questions at the end as well, so you can feel free to unmute yourselves then. I am going to dive in and start with the class, and let's get started. So everything will start on your desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of this slide. And like I said, it all begins with workflow. So what we're going to do is you right-click, create a new folder, and we're going to call that folder Listing Concierge Assets. I've already got one created. And for my example's purposes, let's say I've got 4 listings that I've purchased in my lifetime with Listing Concierge on this new platform. So I've got 3 of them saved. We're going to save that last one together and upload them into the system. And as you can see, we create our main folder, Listing Concierge Assets, and then you will create in that main folder a series of subfolders for each listing you have. So I've got 1, 2, 3 Fake Street, Santa Cruz, 2, 3, 4 Blank Street, Pacific Grove, and 3, 4, 5 another street already saved. We're going to save one more listing, and that's 125 32nd Avenue in Santa Cruz, and download all of the assets we need in case we have any future marketing purpose for them, whether it be personal branding or marketing, some kind of promotional marketing that you're doing, or as a part of a presentation, because these assets are critical. Consumers, people in general, hear with their eyes. If you can show them what you do, it will make 1,000% more impact on a consumer than you telling them what you do. So having all of these things capable and available to share online is critical to your business. So let's go ahead and dive into saving that listing. We've got everything created here. Let's go ahead into our CB desk. And obviously we're going into Listing Concierge. I'm not an agent, so I've got one of my agents, Willie, was kind enough to let me use his account. As you can see, he's got 2 orders in here. We're going to pretend that I've already saved this one, and this is my final order. Before you start with everything, because obviously there's the incoming data from MLS that is separate from the purchased orders that you can see here, a gold and platinum order. You want to start with the order history. You click on this, and it's going to, like you guessed, give you your order history of everything you've purchased in the system, so you can download this as a checklist and save it with the rest of your assets to keep yourself on track and remember everything you had in V1. This is already downloaded, so I can click on this little arrow, hit show in folder. It will take me right to my downloads folder, where I can left click and drag where we can see it says move to Listing Concierge assets. So I've let go of my left click, and I've now added this into my Listing Concierge assets from my download. I'm not going to put it in any specific folder because it pertains to all of my orders. So if I wanted to rename it, I could right click, hit rename, and we can call this, you know, my order history V1 if I wanted to be uber specific about it. But there we go. That's the first thing we want to save. And when I open this, what we see, it is indeed my order history. And I can see my orders in here and what we paid for them. And like I said, let's say I've already got my other listings downloaded. So all I need to do now is get my final one. So let's go back to my listings, and I'm going to save 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz. Now, let's click on Manage Order. That's going to take us to the listing dashboard, where we can see everything associated with that gold package that we purchased. And everything is done except for the just sold postcards. But luckily, the download process for a lot of these assets, like the mailer, brochure, postcards, advertisement, and the flyer, are all the same. So let's go through what we need to do first, actually, before we dive into all of this, is create our new folder for this listing. So I'm going to go back to my desktop. I'm going to create a new folder, 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz. And in here is where we are going to dump all of the assets that we download. Let's start with the basics, photography. Right here under our listing details. Now, the listing details you can review. If you want to save these things to a Word document separately in regards to the marketing copy you have, you can totally do that. We're going to create a Word document a little bit later to save the links for your website and things like that. So if you also want this copy separate from the proofs that we are downloading, this is where you would save that. I don't really think it's necessary, so I'm not going to do it because you've already got the completed copy on the proofs we're saving. But I digress. Let's go to photos. Now, this only applies if you use any of the 5 photographers that are in the Listing Concierge system, because they've gone ahead and uploaded them into the platform for you. If you used a third-party photographer, they've already emailed you some sort of download that you would have used to put the photography in here. So I'm not going to cover that. Obviously, we can see all our photography is here. It's all nicely bundled. All you have to do is click Select All. Much like you would guess, it will select all of them. If you don't want any specific photos, you can uncheck that and select the ones you want individually. But I'm a big fan of you don't know what you need until you don't have it. It's better to have them all. And we're going to download the high-res copies. All you need to do is save high-resolution photos. Why? Because you can make low-resolution photos from high-resolution photos. You cannot make low-resolution photos into high-resolution photos. So no need to save the poorest quality version. We're going to save the best ones. This download is probably going to take the longest of anything that you do because you've got a lot of photos and we're downloading them in high resolution, so they are indeed a large file size. While that happens, we can move on. We're going to click Listing Dashboard to go back to the dashboard where we started. And as you can see here, we're going to come back to the property website. Let's go to the mailer. So we'll put a pin in the website. We'll come back to that because it's a link. And like I said, we're going to save that. It's a little different from these items, which have already been approved and sent out. And what you'll see is a little gray arrow. If I hover over that, it says download. All you got to do is click on that, and it's going to download the final copy of what went out for you. Let's go back to the dashboard and rinse and repeat for the brochure. Oops, I had details. Let's go back to the dashboard. I'm going to do the ad. Now, the newsprint ad will show up just as an example of what the ad looks like. In the grander scheme of having something to show clientele, if you can save a copy of one of the publications whenever you place one of these orders, that's always a great thing to do. So you can show what it looks like in context. Otherwise, having this ad and then just saying, for example, if I purchased it for the Bay Area News Group, I can present them a list. These are the publications in which this ad, which looks like this, will get placed. And again, if I click on it and preview it, that's what it looks like. Let's go ahead and go back to the dashboard. And let's download our flyer. Now the flyer, as you can see, it looks like there's a ton in here, but these are just your templates. What we're looking for is the completed one, which will have these extra buttons next to them and a download option. So we can download it. Now, the just sold cards haven't been done for this specific order, but they would download the same way as the other postcards. You click on them and you hit download. And if you had any additional photography service, whether it's a gold package or a platinum package or a silver package, you can always add on things like Matterports or flyover photography or drone photography, whatever the case may be. You will see an additional tab here called Photography Services. And you will have a link. Now, I have a link saved in the Word document we'll review in a little bit, but it's just copying and saving that link for future purposes for things like a Matterport, for example, which aren't exactly videos, but are 3D virtual reality renderings. You want to save that link so you have it for long-term purposes, much like the website, which is our segue to go back to the dashboard. And now we can look at something like our property website. Obviously, you want to choose the one that was completed. It's got the little check mark right there. And when I access it, we can go to URLs, and we want to click on that branded URL. This will open us up to the website, and this branded URL we want to save. Everything we're saving is regards for marketing purposes, so does us no good to have something unbranded. Now, what we can do is let's talk about this tile right here, Office 365 and email. In a moment, we will talk about OneDrive in here, but I'm going to hit Stay Signed In. Your Office account is created with whatever your gateway account is. OneDrive is something we will access in a minute, but we do want to get from here is Microsoft Word. This obviously will work like any word processor because that's what it is. You're going to create a new document. Now, I've already done this, so I'm just going to go to the one I've made, but you'll create a blank document, and we're just going to call it Links for 125 32nd Avenue. Very nice, easy to remember, in regards to, when we come across this again in a year, we know exactly what is in it. I'm just zooming in here for better view. You can change the name of this file by clicking right up top. As you can see, I've called it links for 125 32nd Avenue. And we've already got our links saved for something like our website. All you would do is go to this website. You can right click, copy. It's also the command is Control-C. We come back to our link. We typed in website and we can paste Control-V. And bam, the link is saved. I've got a Matterport for a different listing. I'm just going to open it up real quick. This is what a Matterport looks like. Just for those who aren't accustomed to seeing one, it's a 3D rendering of the property. If you got this done, for example, all you would need to do is, again, copy this link. We can go ahead and close that. Come back here and paste it. Matterport. And the television ad. So we've got this link saved, so I can go ahead and close that. And let's go back to the listing dashboard. The television ad is something you can do two things with. A, we're going to save that link, but more importantly, you want to make sure you download this and have this uploaded to your own YouTube channel, to your own social media, and utilizing it on your own website to create strong SEO and continue to brand and market yourself and what you do for your consumers. Instead of talking about the TV show, you can show them and continue to promote. This is what I had running this weekend on this, and this channel, and on this, and this show at this time, blah, blah, blah. Again, I digress. We click the link. All it is the commercial that runs on At Home in Northern California. It is uploaded to the Coldwell Banker site. You can copy that link from right there. You can copy the share link, whatever the link, it's all the same thing. You want to place it right here with TV ad. And you also, I will include this in the recap. You want to download it. I will include the link to this website, which will allow you to paste that share link here and then download the video so you can then re-upload it to your own website or your own YouTube. I have a YouTube class I am teaching in 2 parts. First part is tomorrow. Last part is on Friday. So if you don't have a YouTube, or even if you do and you just want to refresh on the platform, highly recommend you join me for that. It's a 2-parter, like I said. I'm just waiting for this to download. That green bar, once it completes, it will give us a green button right here. We're going to hit download. You don't need to pay attention to any pop-up that happens. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. We don't need this anymore. I can close that. I don't need this anymore. I can close that. My video has been downloaded. I've already saved the links. I've got all of the links I need. Now, like I said, you can also choose on this Word document to save your listing details. You could also choose if you wanted, you can also choose if you wanted, let's go back to listing dashboard, to save things like the information for your dot signal writer. There's actually nothing to save here. If you go into your CB desk, you guys all have, you will see on your dashboard, you've got the social and web advertising powered by Boost. There's nothing to click on here because that is located in its own tile called Home Spotter Boost. You can click on this. I'm not an agent, so my account's going to look a little bit different from yours, but you will be able to see your listing and download the information from the ad that ran, the campaign that ran, the viewer numbers, and things like that. We can hit, let's see when that's completed here. Ended. And let's pick just for examples purposes to show you guys what we're looking at. What you want to do is you email yourself the information, and then you can save that email into your folder. Obviously, again, well, I guess I can go. Let's go through the process real quick of just like saving an email. You can, once you get that email, you can go here. You've got a little save button. Again, this is if you're using Outlook, and I'm using it on the desktop version, which you can download from the Office 365. I'm going to go ahead and go back to desk, tile, right in here. All you want to do is save that email. You want to save as Adobe PDF. Call it Boost. I'm going to go to my desktop, go to my Listing Concierge assets, go to the listing it is associated with, and hit save. Just like that, it will start the process of saving that for you, so you have the Boost information to go with it. Moving on. All right. The update is an email that's sent out through the system. It is much like the e-flyer. There's really no marketable value in that because they change so frequently in regards to how they look. They're only sent to agents anyway. The client report can be sent to you by your coordinator. So reach out to your coordinator, which is at the bottom of your menu bar right over here on the left. And for all intents and purposes, we have now saved everything we've got in this listing. So now I need to transfer it to my folder and upload them into OneDrive. So I'm going to minimize all of this stuff. I've got my Listing Concierge Assets folder open. And now I'm also going to go into my File Explorer on Windows. We can go right into my documents. And from here, I'm going to go into my downloads because that's where everything I download goes. And you can see all the stuff I've saved. I've got listing, photos, and a ton of preview and numbers. Now, what does all that mean? Well, I want to open up one of these. And remember how we renamed that file earlier? So I'm going to look at this. This is my flyer. So I can right-click, rename flyer. Just makes it, again, easy for yourself in the future so you can identify what all this stuff is right on the get-go. I open this. This is my lovely brochure. Right-click, rename brochure. And rinse and repeat. This would make this my mailer. You can also call this just listed if you'd like. And that would make this my ad. Always double check, but again, process of elimination. Your listing photos are nicely saved into a zip file for you. And all I'm going to do is select all of these by right-clicking and holding them. You can do them one by one if you would like, and we just drag them over, move to 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz. I'm going to move all of these items right to that folder, along with my commercial. Drag and drop. That Word document we made, we also want to save that. So we're going to go, when you are done with your Word doc, all you have to do is click on File. You're going to click Save As, and you're going to download a copy. You'll get a download button right there, and it will appear in your downloads folder just like the rest of the stuff did. You obviously could do this before you transfer all of that stuff. I clearly almost forgot. But that's why we have these checklists. You drop that off right there, and that's it. Now, when I open this folder, everything associated with marketing for this listing is here. And now in one foul swoop, I can upload everything into my cloud storage partner. I've got all of my listings saved from my order history. Everything is good to go. I've done my final one, 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz. So I can close this. I'm going to go ahead and close my dashboard. I'm going to close Word. And I've saved my boost. I've already got that. So let's go back and take that pin out of OneDrive. We're going to go back into Office 365 and email. And then like I was talking, you stay signed in with whatever your gateway account is. You've got all your software here. You can install software like I noted by just clicking on that button. So if you want to have Outlook or Word or Excel on your computer, that's how you do it. We're going into OneDrive. Now, OneDrive, yours might look blank if you've never used it before. It looks like any file explorer that you use on your computer. You've got all your folders here. I've already got stuff in mine, obviously. And when you click on a folder, you can see all the subfolders within. You can select items to rename, move, share items, delete items. You can select multiple items to do multiple things with. We can go back to files. Everything is default sorted by name. You can change the sort with the top menu right here. You can also change how these items look. And you've got a menu on the left-hand side, which will show you recent files, things you're sharing, your recycle bin, and any shared libraries you are a part of. And obviously up here, our main menu where you can create new items. You can sync if you have this linked with your computer. We're not going to talk about automate, but all we need to care about is upload. Again, everything's been nice and done. We've already completed everything. Our order is saved. The workflow is organized. It's all in a handy dandy folder called Listing Concierge Assets on our desktop. So when I am in my OneDrive, all I have to do is hit upload, and we're going to hit folder, and we can select the entire folder, Listing Concierge Assets. I'm going to hit upload, confirm the upload, and just like that, in one swoop, everything will start to upload to your cloud storage partner. We've got a status bar, a progress bar that just popped up, and you can see everything uploading in real time. And as you can see, a new folder was just created a few seconds ago, Listing Concierge Assets. And if we click on it, as stuff starts uploading, you will see it populate the same way it was on your computer. Nice, organized, and ready to go. And now you've got them uploaded in a cloud storage partner for future reference and usage for as long as you need them, because they're not in a physical space that can be damaged or lost. That is the process, guys. That is it. I am going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and open up the floor to any questions, as well as check the chat to see if there's any questions. How much storage do we have in iCloud? I do not know how much storage you have in your iCloud. That is relevant to how much you pay for iCloud. Your OneDrive storage provided by the company, as far as I've seen, I've got my entire computer backed up in my OneDrive. That's over 500 gigs. I haven't hit a wall yet. Most of these folders are going to vary in size between, if you download all of the assets like I did, you're only looking at a few hundred megabytes, especially because the photos are coming in a zip folder. So you're going to be hard pressed to eat up the OneDrive space. I can't speak to any other third party though. Are there any other questions? Again, feel free to unmute yourself, utilize the chat, whatever works better. All right. I will assume that means everybody's kind of got an idea of this process down. Like I said, it's fairly simple. It took me less than 20 minutes to download everything out of that one listing. If you time block yourself out properly, you'll have it done before the end of the month. Again, if you're in my region, which covers, basically Sacramento all the way down to me. If you're a part of that territory, our changeover is happening at the end of the month. You need to have this done before the end of the month. Once they're gone, they're gone. And there's nothing you'll be able to do to get that back. So time block it out, get yourself done. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to myself, your local field marketing specialist, your SSAs. We're more than equipped and ready to help you through the process. It's really not that difficult. Like I said, I just went through it in about 20 minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I will send a recap to you guys very shortly, in about an hour or so once the recording